I'd say we need to innovate not just on what the offering looks like, the capabilities, the features that can get people to better outcomes, but we got to make them so that they can take action right there on the spot.
This is 401k Specialist Editor-in-Chief Brian Anderson, and this is the 401k Specialist Podcast. A very special edition of the 401k Specialist Podcast, actually, as this marks our 100th episode. And we're not the only ones celebrating a milestone. Over at Morningstar, they are celebrating their 40th anniversary this year, and we thought that marked a good opportunity for a little walk down memory lane, as well as peeking into what lies ahead for the company's Morningstar Retirement unit. We'll get to it right after this brief message.
Morningstar Retirement. Together, we make retirement a reality. We are championing retirement alongside our industry allies to help participants achieve better outcomes. Learn more at morningstar.com/business/brands/retirement.
This year happens to mark Morningstar's 40th anniversary. Since its founding in 1984, the Chicago-based financial services firm has grown into a billion-dollar company with more than 10,000 employees around the world. Within that company lies Morningstar Retirement, a unit dedicated to providing comprehensive retirement planning solutions and investment research that supports and collaborates with workplace retirement plans and other industry players to differentiate their services, stay competitive, and reach new markets. Joining us today to give a little history lesson on Morningstar Retirement and provide some insights as to where it's headed in the future, we're happy to have Brock Johnson, president of Morningstar Retirement and co-head of Morningstar's Registered Investment Advisory arm. Brock is responsible for the overall business, including strategic positioning, solution development, sales and marketing, and account management, as well as product development for the company's institutional investment products and services. Brock Johnson, welcome to the 401k Specialist Podcast.
Thanks. Really good to be here. Looking forward to the conversation.
All right. Well, I wanted to get started by asking if you can tell us a little bit about the founding of Morningstar Retirement and what the initial goals and the mission of the group was.
Yeah, so Morningstar Inc., our parent company, was founded by Joe Mansueto back in 1984 with the broad idea of just making investment information more accessible to more people. And that starting of the company is basically true to what we're trying to do today with our mission of empowering investor success, basically helping investors get to better outcomes. And at Morningstar Retirement, we approach that mission in a pretty unique way. We're laser focused on providing holistic advice and investment expertise to retirement plan participants. That often leads to us working with record keepers, advisors, and broker dealers. So for us within Morningstar Retirement, empowering investor success means delivering advice that helps make retirement a reality for millions of Americans. And I would just say it's been really fun over the years to see how that mission has evolved for us. We've moved from having a single product and maybe a handful of customers over 20 years ago to today where we have broad offerings and capabilities. And those customers have really become true partners for us where we can work together on solving the needs of the industry. So for Morningstar Retirement, the mission from day one hasn't changed a whole lot. We're here to try to get people to better retirement outcomes.
So now Morningstar Retirement has been around for 26 years. I'm curious, how have the products and the services evolved over that time period?
Yeah, I think most people that know about Morningstar Retirement in the industry, the professionals in the retirement space, are familiar with us being a leader in the advice and managed account space. And so, yeah, I'll come back to that because that really is truly our flagship product. But, you know, I want to start with some of the other products that have evolved along with us. First, we've leveraged the strength of Morningstar's manager research capabilities and our ability to build plan lineups. And we're doing that for for thousands of small plans through our fiduciary services product offering. Within Morningstar Investment Management, we serve as a fiduciary. It might be a 321 fiduciary, or it might be a 338 fiduciary to the menus that we design for the investment lineups that we put together for plan sponsors. And it's really been a great service for us. When we rolled this out, the way investment lineups for a lot of plan sponsors got created was a little bit chaotic, if I'm being honest. Back when we started this service, we were seeing people that if someone just liked a particular investment or a particular fund, it would get added to a lineup without a whole lot of rhyme or reason. And we came in and I really believe we changed that. We established a much more prudent and disciplined approach to lineup design. And now that's evolved into a full service platform for record keepers and advisors. We've got a robust set of capabilities that now establish the investment menu that we'll stand behind as a fiduciary. We'll continue to monitor that. We'll make changes, and we'll do all the necessary compliance requirements that are needed to keep the home offices satisfied with the approach that's being taken. And we've got over 24,000 plans that are using that service today. So that's one product that's really evolved for us over the years. The second one I'd mention would really be our custom target date offerings. Again, I feel like we're a leader in the space here. We've got a strong history in asset allocation and fund selection. And I believe our custom target date offering really brings those two pieces together. And so with this, we work with large and mega plan sponsors directly to build custom glide paths and portfolios. We also partner with record keepers and advisors to do a lot more of like the custom work on behalf of their clients. And it's one where we really think we're having an impact. And today we have over 1,500 plans and about 44 billion in assets in that offering. And then I'll get to the one that I think we're most well known for and probably the one where you have the most interest in. And that's our flagship offering of advice and managed accounts. And we have been at this for almost 25 years. It started small as a somewhat simple kind of point in time advice tool with just a couple of record keeping integrations. But over the years, it's really evolved. We've seen almost universal consensus that advice works and that personalized advice is getting people to better outcomes. And so we're now working with almost all the record keepers out there with a managed account offering. And I'm pretty proud of that. We've been able to help millions and millions of participants achieve their retirement goals through this service. And I would just add on that we think that there's just going to be continued growth. In the last decade, we've seen improved data, more and more plan sponsors and advisors seeing the clear value in advice and personalizations. You're starting to see managed accounts used as a QDIA or the default investment. And we think that's only going to continue to pick up pace. And I guess I'd be remiss, just in as your question around how the products evolved, we're seeing managed accounts being used in, kind of the dynamic QDIA or the dynamic default setting where someone initially gets put into a target date fund and then over time automatically goes into a managed account when their situation gets a little more complex. And so tons of evolution in the managed account space. The last thing I'd mention around that is just the excitement that we have around advisor managed accounts, putting the advisor, the plan advisor, who in a lot of cases built the core menu already, knows the plan sponsor well, has already been serving a lot of the plan participants. When we can, through our advisor managed account service, we can put them in the driver's seat, and it just makes sense. They can leverage our technology, our scale, our investment expertise to provide holistic advice to the plan. Yeah, they can use us to help drive engagement and serve more participants than ever. So it all goes back to our mission. Our products continue to evolve, and we believe all of these products are focusing on empowering investor success and helping people get to better retirement outcomes.
Okay. Well, with your pretty long history now, I'm curious, can you tell us about some of the bigger challenges you faced in the business over the years?
Yeah, I mean, we certainly had bumps along the way. I'd still say for me, I'll call out one in particular that it's really kind of a hot button for me right now. I think it's all around overall participant access to defined contribution accounts. Based on, you can look at various statistics from different folks in the marketplace, but depending on which ones you look at, there's still around 50% of private sector employees still don't have access to an employer-sponsored retirement plan. And to me, that's just too many people that don't have access to what I believe is the best savings and investing vehicle for helping people achieve a successful retirement, a defined contribution plan, a 401k-like plan. And I believe that's a challenge that we have faced in the past, and we're still facing it today. And I think as an industry, and that includes Morningstar, so I'm pointing the finger back at ourselves here too, we need to keep working on this one. We aren't there yet, and there's more to do, but I do think Morningstar is positioned well to make it easier for advisors and broker dealers and record keepers to open up and manage these smaller startup type plans. And I think you're going to see real growth and progress from us in the years to come around that idea.
You're right. That's definitely one of the bigger challenges facing the industry. All right, now I'd like to switch gears a little bit and talk about innovation. The retirement industry has seen a lot of innovation over many fronts in recent years. How is Morningstar Retirement continuing to innovate and adapt as the retirement planning industry evolves?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to think that we're at the forefront of innovation. We work really hard to stay at the leading edge of what's going on there. And I think the primary way that we do that is we just continue to listen to our clients. And I think that shows in terms of how we're improving and innovating our product suite. We're constantly looking to broaden the definition of what a retirement solution actually is. An example of that to me personally is I think student loan debt is a retirement problem. If we can help people, solve their student loan debt sooner, then they're going to get on a better path to retirement sooner as well. And so, at one point in time, you'd have these things all siloed into their different buckets. And I think, from the way that I like to look at things is the definition of what the retirement offerings of the future need to be is they need to be more holistic and take into account more of these factors. And then I wouldn't stop there. I'd say, we need to innovate not just on what the offering looks like, the capabilities, the features that can get people to better outcomes, but we got to make them so that they can take action right there on the spot. And it's something we're pursuing with the newer offering of ours called Personal Finance Builder, which just is looking at things more holistically, but allowing you to basically take action right there on the spot. And I think that's really important. I'd say other examples of the way that, our clients are kind of pushing us for more innovation and things that we're taking head on are things around like retirement income. We've had retirement income offerings for years and years, and it just needs to evolve. We need to deliver personalized annuity recommendations as more and more record keepers begin adding solutions to their platforms. Or you can look at just the types of investments that are made available, like alternative assets like private equity and private credit are getting talked about a lot right now. And we're in the middle of those conversations. And I think there's innovation needed there, but it's needed to make sure that any new investment categories that get added, that they make sense and they're added in the right way into participant portfolios. And then I would just kind of sum up the point around innovation is like our advisor managed account offering, I think is incredibly innovative, and it's really helping power this convergence of wealth and retirement that seems to be talked about all the time. We continue to evolve our advisor managed accounts offering to provide advice on more goals across different account types so that an individual can get a total solution all in one place. And so, the bottom line for us at Morningstar within Morningstar Retirement is that, we believe the industry continues to be ripe for disruption. And I think Morningstar Retirement is positioned well to continue to kind of help lead the way in terms of innovating around the products of the future.
All right. Well, staying on this innovation, new products, 401k specialists recently reported on a new model of U.S. retirement outcomes that was introduced by Morningstar. It's a simulation tool that considers individual characteristics, healthcare costs, and projected longevity to assess retirement income sufficiency. And noticeably in the story we covered, the research found that up to 45% of American households will run short of money in retirement. Any thoughts about why this was important to develop this new tool?
Yeah, I mean, we've been focused on retirement-specific research for years. It really aligns with that mission we discussed earlier. This new model, though, allows us to really take that research to the next level. The model essentially allows us to predict and simulate the effects of policy, of product design decisions, behavioral changes on the retirement readiness across the United States. It's smart enough to model the impact in aggregate on specific segments of the population. So we can basically look at things related to gender, to race, to age, net worth, education, the industry that individual participants are in, housing status, all kinds of factors. And this offering that we put out, it's not designed as a revenue generator for Morningstar. It's truly designed to help the industry better understand the impact of these regulatory or plan design decisions and what that impact is going to have on participants' ability to retire. And so we've always done retirement research. This is taking it to the next level. We think it's important to leverage that expertise and that data that we have to help drive better outcomes. And so sometimes that might mean digging into broad national issues, things like, how do we close the saving gap? Or how does the expansion of the savers match help disadvantaged groups save even more? So it can be big, critical policy decisions that we can help with this data, and we can kind of help paint the picture of what's going on. But it's also important to get tactical and dig into things that advisors and plan sponsors and record keepers can implement on a day-to-day basis. So demonstrating the value of holistic advice as the default option, or developing a broad-based criteria for selecting an in-plan annuity, things like that are a bit more tactical are equally as important. And now we have the data to help with those decisions as well. So, it's kind of an extension of what we've been doing for years. I'm proud of our ability to balance both the big picture kind of policy research ideas along with the more tactical information that helps our clients on a day-to-day basis. And that this new tool and this new simulation engine is going to allow us to do that better than we've done in the past.
Interesting. All right. I'm excited about that new tool. All right. Before we wrap up, I want to close by getting an idea of what you see for the future of Morningstar Retirement. Where's the company headed from here?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question that we wrestle with all the time, every day. And, I'm a big believer in scalable personalization across account types. With the amount of data and the technical innovations that we've made at Morningstar Retirement, we can provide highly customized products to our clients and the end users that they work with. But as I mentioned before, that scalable personalization needs to come with action, the ability to take action on the spot. And so as we expand our offerings to become even more holistic, we cannot leave out that whatever the innovations we make, whatever the new features we add, they have to be actionable. The example I've given internally quite a bit within our group is, there's plenty of calculators out there that can tell individuals they need to save $300 a month for this and that. But if it stops there and it just basically says, hey, you need to be doing this, you need to be saving $300 a month, and then it doesn't give them ability to take action or come up with a way to solve that problem, then it's really not that helpful in my mind. And so we're going to kind of push the envelope on not only more holistic solutions that cross accounts, but make them actionable. Along with that same line is we're big believers that all plan participants deserve advice. So in the future, I see us reaching millions of more participants in the next decade than we've done in the past. More RIA and broker-dealer partnerships, deeper integrations with record keepers, the ability to provide advice on other goals for the average 401k participant, like health savings accounts, their IRA accounts, and just kind of fundamental budgeting needs. I do feel like we've accomplished a lot within our group and over the 20 plus years that we've been doing it, but there's so much more we can do. And, I feel like I've been asked the other day how excited I am about our business. And I would just say that, I think there's huge opportunities out there and we have the capabilities to go after them. So I'm more excited about the business at Morningstar Retirement than I've ever been before.
All right. Well, sounds like you guys have a lot going on. Brock Johnson, president of Morningstar Retirement, thanks for joining us today and sharing all these insights on this special 100th episode of the 401k Specialist Podcast.
Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it.
Morningstar Retirement. Together, we make retirement a reality. We are championing retirement alongside our industry allies to help participants achieve better outcomes. Learn more at morningstar.com/business/brands/retirement.